Hey, what's going on YouTube? Alabama Reloader here. So if you follow me on Instagram, uh, then you've seen a couple of the pictures that I've posted here. My last couple of posts have been about a new project that we've got going on that kind of fell into our lap very last minute. I got a message from an uncle of mine over the weekend. Um, he reached out to me on uh, Facebook Messenger and was like, "Hey, um, your aunt told me that you reload ammo and all that." We started going back and forth about how I reload and everything, and load my own ammo and stuff. And uh, so he ended up, hey, give me a call. So start talking to him. Turns out he has a Savage Model 99 lever action rifle chambered in 250 3000 Savage. 250 Savage is what I believe it's listed as the Sammy cartridge name, but it was marketed as the 250 3000 Savage back when it was invented. And so he was saying he was having a hard time finding ammo for it. And I was like, well, yeah, no kidding. They don't really, that cartridge is over 100 years old. That they don't, it's not like a 308. It's not something you can just go buy at any local gun store. Some places you'll have it, but for the most part, it's not the most popular caliber or cartridge around. So he was having issues, asked if I'd load him some ammo, which of course then in turn, I already knew in my mind, like, okay, well, factory ammo is pretty scarce. There are, I'll be able to find reloading components, but again, it's not like 308, 223, it's not your common everyday run-of-the-mill type cartridge that you reload for. So I immediately started doing some searching, and he wanted all this for deer season. So, which gun season in our state here in Alabama, it's already opened up. The state is broken down into multiple zones. So gun season's already opened up, I think, for one or two zones, I believe. And then the vast majority of the state will open up for gun season. I think it's next Saturday, maybe. Um, so with that in mind, he was wanting something he could take into the woods. It's a very sentimental item to him. He, as we were talking on the phone, he's just extremely proud of this firearm, and it's been handed down in his family, and just it's very meaningful to him. So the fact that he would ask me to load for it is, obviously that carries a lot of meaning to me as well. So I appreciate that he would reach out and ask me to do that. So I started immediately, looking for some components, and just like trying to buy loaded ammo, it's not the easiest thing to find or the most readily available. I found some Lee pace setter dies. I want to say Midway might have had some RCBS dies as well. I think they were a little more expensive. And then like the Hornady, I would have preferred to buy the Hornady custom grade die set, the 2 die set, so that way I could fill out the rebate form and get some more projectiles or whatever. But I think Midway had that die set. It was like $90. Yeah, I was like, no, I ain't paying that much. Sorry. I think this was like $33, just whatever their standard 3 die pace setter set cost. I think it's like $33.99. So I went ahead and ordered that. Starting to look around, and the other thing that he kind of specified was he wanted to shoot an 87 grain bullet. That's what the cartridge was designed around back in, I think it was released like in 1915 or something like that. It was designed around the 87 grain bullet traveling at 3,000 feet per second, which at the time, it doesn't sound like much nowadays, but at the time that was the first commercially available cartridge to push a bullet 3,000 feet per second. So it was kind of a big deal. So that's why Savage really pushed the 250 3000 nomenclature, right? It was more of a marketing kind of gimmick. So he was really wanting an 87 grain bullet. So they're in the 257 diameter world, there are other options, 100 grain, I think 117, 120, 115. I can't remember all of them. that you can go with. I didn't, me personally, I would have gone with maybe a little bit heavier bullet, but the problem is I feel like the hundreds would have been fine, but like I think Spear makes a 120 that I was really wanting to try out, but I don't know the twist rate of this rifle, and so I didn't want to buy something and then the projectiles for whatever reason possibly not stabilize. I was able to find these Sierras, and I also checked their website, and they, even though it is a varminter round, they mentioned that you can use this on deer sized game, which is what he wants to do with it. He wants to go deer hunting with it, and he wanted an 87 grain bullet, so that's what we got. And I ordered a couple boxes. I want to try to get him 100 rounds. That was the other thing. He wanted, to quote him, he wanted 3 or 4 boxes of shells, which he's equating it to, 20 rounds per box. So he's looking at 60 to 80. I ordered 100 pieces of brass, so I'm just going to load him up 100 rounds and be done with it. So, but those are the dies that we're going with. Super simple, easy, somewhat cheap. Those are the projectiles, 87 grain. If we can get these guys open. This is not the easiest stuff in the world to do one-handed. Well, it'd probably help if I open the one that I've actually cut open. So there you go. So that's why I couldn't do it one-handed. But here's a look at the bullet. So that's what we're going to be running. Just a little 87 grainer, 257 diameter. We'll be using CCI large rifle primers. Picked these up over at Mr. Big Guns in Huntsville. Still really good price, in my opinion. I think I paid $40 for 1,000, so that's 4 cents a piece. In today's climate where people are just, it's outrageous, the prices that people are charging for primers. Anytime I see it on arms list, somebody gouging the crap out of the primers and the powder, I just go and flag it as overpriced. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like if you can't find it anywhere, if you're fine with paying that inflated price, by all means go ahead, but just simply set up all your notifications at these various online retailers, and when something pops in, just go buy it. I mean, a lot of these places still have really good prices on stuff. It's just, obviously they can't get it in right now. So that's primers, die set, bullets. For brass, we had to go with a brand that I never use, Remington. So, and we went with Remington simply because a lot of the online places, the only brand that a lot of places had was Hornady. And several of the online retailers, I was going to go with Midway. They ship stuff to me the fastest in this COVID environment. They get stuff to me, within a few days of ordering. It's at my door. So their shipping, in my experience, hasn't been impacted. But Mid-South Shooter Supply, Natchez Shooter Supply, I've ordered from those places during this whole, craziness, and those shipping times, they seem to be a little more true in terms of they have their delays posted on their website, like, hey, expect delays. It seems to be the case with them. So I didn't want to go that route because, again, I'm kind of pressed for time. So I was searching online, came across a place I've never heard of, Duck Creek Sporting Goods. And those guys, I guess from the package that these arrived in today, they are out in Colorado. But I found these on their website for actually a pretty good price. Just kind of compared to everything else. It was a good deal. I think I paid, I can't even remember now. Ooh, yeah, I can't remember, but it was a good deal, right? It was a good price. You can go look it up if you want to, but they listed their in-stock quantity. They had like 35 bags of this brass in stock, which everywhere else this stuff just, it's not that it doesn't exist, but again, it's not a huge selling item. So I found it very interesting that they had so many bags of this Remington 250 Savage brass. So I ordered 2 bags. We got 100 pieces to play with. Remington, unlike Hornady, they give you an extra piece or at least there was an extra piece in each bag. So I had 51 pieces in each bag, which is good because in each bag I had at least one that was super jacked up. So these two were the worst out of the 102 pieces that we received. And this guy had a dent there, and then this guy, he's got a dent somewhere on him right there. So these were pretty jacked up, and so I'm not even going to fool with them because we have 100 good pieces out of the 2 bags. But your normal stuff, I mean, I'm going to run these up into the die just to get the expander ball through there to round out the case mouse. I mean, I was definitely expecting to do that. That's what I do anyway on my brass prep, so on my new brass prep. So that's what I'll be doing with those. I've already deburred the flash hole in these guys. It wasn't too bad. I mean, there were some that were pretty sticky in there, but other than that, pretty straightforward. The rifle itself, I have in hand now. This thing is just sweet. It's got your little cartridge indicator of how many are in the mag there. It's just it is just a cool lever action firearm, and so I'm really looking forward to diving off into this project. So that covers all that stuff for powder. I'm giving this stuff a try. Winchester stay ball 6.5. I have yet to really find a bullet powder cartridge combination that this stuff just excels in. I haven't used it a ton, but I have used it over a few different cartridges and just haven't really been blown away by it. I just haven't had the amazing success and the really tight groups that I would hope for. But we're going to give it a shot in this. Hodgson has load data on their website for the 250 Savage using this powder. And then a powder I just picked up again over at Mr. Big Guns in Huntsville, Accurate 4064. So Sierra has load data using this powder, so we're gonna go with their load data and go from there. So I'm gonna try to get to the range tomorrow. I'm glad everything came in this quick. That is one good thing. Like even ordering from these guys, I mean, they're never heard of them. Just I guess a small shop out in Colorado, but I ordered it. I think it was Saturday, maybe when I placed the order, and the guy sent me an email and was like, "Hey, we're dropping your order off at USPS today." That was on Monday. Today's Thursday. Package just showed up, and that's everything. So I'm ready to go. We're gonna get some rounds loaded up. What I'll probably do is just load up 10 3-shot groups. Actually, I'll do 5 3-shot groups with stay ball, 5 with Accurate 4064. We're definitely starting at the minimum charges with this load development process. We're not going to do normal where I start, kind of middle to closer to the higher charge weights. I'm not. The key here, just like Johnny's Reloading Bench said on one of his videos where somebody asked to work up loads for a family heirloom, don't blow up somebody's family heirloom, right? That is key in this load development process. Is we're going to start at the minimum. We're going to stay strict to that. We're going to work up probably in 2 or 3 tenths of a grain increments. I hadn't necessarily decided on that. Possibly 3 since we're only loading up 5 of each powder to begin with. We'll probably jump 3 tenths. So it won't be a huge fluctuation there in charge weight, and then we'll just kind of go from there. But that's it. There you go. That's the 250 Savage. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to get this thing out on the range and give it a shot and see how she shoots. So y'all stay tuned, and yeah, y'all have a good one.